Hey folks, welcome to the Ramble. Alexa, what was the score of yesterday's Baltimore Orioles game?
Last night the Orioles lost to the Rays, 4-3.
Well, could have told you that. Anyway, yeah, I got a new, I almost called it a Kindle. Technically, it's not a Kindle anymore. They rebranded. They're just called Fire tablets. But I got a new one, and it has Alexa on it. And if I say that too loud, she'll wake up. And I don't want her to wake up quite yet. But it's my first Alexa. And it's been kind of fun sort of playing around with it. You can ask her all sorts of questions, and she knows the answers. For example, Alexa, how many more days until Election Day?
There are 102 days until Election Day.
And actually, for you folks watching this video, you only have 100 days until Election Day because Alexa is speaking from the day that I recorded this video, which is Friday, not the day that you are watching it, which at the earliest is Monday. There are 100 days from the day this video is published until Election Day here in the United States, our general election, our midterm election. And that's what I want to talk about in this video because it's very important that we don't lose sight of the fact that there is an election this year, and it is an incredibly important election. A lot of people, especially a lot of people who are against Trump and are pushing to remove Trump or at the very least limit the amount of damage that he can do while he is still president, are talking about a blue wave. There's going to be a blue wave in November, and the Democrats are going to take back the House, and they're going to take back the Senate, and we're going to roll back a lot of these things that Trump has done, and we're going to impeach him, and we're going to get rid of him, and the Mueller investigation is going to reveal all of the sins that Trump and his people have committed. And that's all great. But none of that happens by itself. And the most important part of the blue wave is going to the polls on Election Day and voting for Democratic candidates. Even if you are not a Democrat, even if you have serious problems with the Democratic Party, which, by the way, speaking as a registered Democrat, you should. The general wisdom, if you will, about the two-party system in the United States is that Republicans are evil and Democrats are incompetent. And as a general rule, sad to say, I think that holds. I'm a Democrat. I'm going to vote for Democrats this November. I think the Democratic Party is our best shot at getting rid of Trump, at limiting the damage he and his cronies can do, at undoing the damage he has done so far. But it's completely fair to say that the Democratic Party is run by a bunch of cowards and fuck-ups. But put that to the side this November, because the blue wave will not happen unless we make it happen. And one of the things that I've been thinking about lately that has me a little worried is I'm worried that in a few states, particularly my own state of Maryland, that some Republicans are going to squeak by because they're viewed as moderates, because we're letting them off the hook. See, Trump and his menagerie are so awful and are so openly, blatantly, shamelessly, unapologetically awful that I think a lot of people, including a lot of Democrats or a lot of people who don't normally vote Republican, they've forgotten how bad Republicans are just in general. They've forgotten how bad the party is based not on Trump, but based on the party platform, based on the policies supported by the party in general, regardless of who the candidate is. We can't lose sight of that. The governor of my state of Maryland is a Republican, Larry Hogan. He's anti-Trump, or at least he has come out against Trump in a few key areas. But it's not really applause-worthy because that's basic. If you don't oppose Trump, then you are a serious problem. Then you are not to be trusted or supported at all. There is no excuse for supporting Trump in any measure at any level, period. So Larry Hogan, my Republican governor, breaking with Trump in a few areas. Well, excellent, nice job. You don't get a standing ovation for that, and you don't deserve to keep your office for that. Because if you are a Republican, especially now in the era of Trump, if you have looked at the Republican Party and you look at who the president is from your party, and you say, I'm going to stick with the Republicans. You know what? Fuck you. On the sliding scale of Republicans, Larry Hogan might be a good Republican. But practically speaking, away from that sliding scale, judged as objectively as we can judge such things, I think we need to start treating Republicans the way the great screenwriter William Goldman talked about film critics, and that is to say, there are no good ones. If you are choosing to run as a Republican, not only are you tacitly supporting Trump, whether you agree with Trump or you back Trump on every particular issue or not, you're a member of his party. You're a member of the party that is propping him up and continuing to support him and continuing to push for him to be treated as a legitimate president. You're tacitly supporting him just by being a member of the party or voting for the party, period. There's that. There's the tacit Trump support. There's also the fact that regardless of your feelings for Trump, you are a member of a party that, according to its platform, is anti-immigrant, is anti-low-income person, is anti-worker, is anti-woman, is anti-black, is anti-LGBT, is anti-disabled person, is a party of the rich, is a party of low taxes for the rich, is a party of income inequality, and is a party that has shown itself through its support and its excuses that it has made for Trump. It's shown itself to be absolutely, utterly without a moral leg to stand on. A party of cowards and hypocrites who are willing to look past anything that their guy does, as long as it means that their guy still gets to be in office. We need every vote in November. We need every nose-holding, reluctant, I wish they were further left, I wish that this person had run instead of that person, I wish that this person had won the primary instead of that person. Every single vote for a Democratic candidate this fall, we need you to turn up on Election Day and to vote for the Democrat in every single race. A message must be sent, and more important than the message, this party must be removed from power. The Republican Party must be removed from power at every level. I know the Democratic Party is shit. I know the Democratic Party is not what we want it to be. I know the Democratic Party is inadequate in so many ways. I am right there with you. But we need you to turn up on Election Day and vote. And why am I saying this 100 days before the election? Because I don't want you to forget. I want you to remember from now until Election Day. I'm going to remind you a few times between now and then, but let's not get complacent. And let's not think that it's that far off, because it's just over 3 months away. 100 days is not that long. So whether you are registered as a Democrat or not, whether you like the Democratic Party or not, if you want to get rid of Trump, if you want to get rid of the Republican Party, if you want to reduce them to minority status, if you want to stand up for all of the myriad categories of people that are threatened by Trump and by Republican policies in this country, people that I mentioned at the beginning of the video, and even more categories of people that I didn't mention, people who are oppressed, who are marginalized, who are in danger because of Republican policies, you need to go and vote in November on Election Day, and you need to vote for Democrats. If you have to hold your nose, please hold your nose and do it. If you have to vote for them and then immediately start lobbying them or pushing them to drag them to the left, to embolden them to say, you know, you can actually support organized labor, Democrats. That's allowed. That would be great if you would do that too, by the way. You can actually do more than talk about it. You can actually push for healthcare reform and universal healthcare. You can actually do things, take concrete measures to support LGBTQ people and disabled people and indigenous people and people of color. You can actually do things to make life better for these people instead of just talking about it, instead of just saying, oh, wouldn't that be nice? You can actually do it. And that'd be great if you would. Wouldn't that be great? You know, you do that. Hold their feet to the fire. Push them, push them, push them. Never stop pushing them. Move them as far as you can move them, but get them in office and get the Republicans out of office as much as possible. It is so, I cannot overemphasize how urgent it is that we get Democratic majorities in both houses of Congress and in as many state legislatures and governors' mansions as possible this November. I really, really hope that the people of my state of Maryland elect Democrat Ben Jealous as our governor. I fear that Larry Hogan will squeak through because of the moderate Republican forgiveness factor that I was mentioning earlier that I think should be utterly rejected. I'm going to vote for Ben Jealous, and I hope a lot of other people vote for Ben Jealous, the Democrat, for governor of Maryland as well. But we need to win as many races as we can possibly win. No more fucking around. The blue wave is not going to happen on its own. We have to make it happen. And there's a lot riding on that wave. So if you're an American and you can vote, go vote in November and vote for Democrats. That's pretty much all I have to say. I'm going to go back to talking to Alexa now. Thanks for watching. Alexa, how many slaves work for Jeff Bezos?
Sorry, I'm not sure.
She didn't say 0.